welcome back. We've got another review to do for Cheng, and this time it is a string trimmer. This is a sort of a look at it. It's a commercial type, so stronger than a residential. It's a 40 volt. Over here it says it's 40 volt, but don't get the wrong idea by where it says fuel. It is not running on gas. This is definitely battery operated. And what else is there to say? Let's open it up. Okay, here is how it comes packed. Of course, it's not full length, it's split in the middle. And there's a reason for that, actually. A lot of times you do have to put them together in the middle, but this one is meant to be separated for other attachments that they haven't come out with yet. There's like an edger and a hedge trimmer and something else, but I think this is just the weed whacker, the type of thing where the ends will be right there. This is where it'll come undone, and you'll be able to change the end here to different attachments, like an edger and a hedge trimmer and something else I can't quite remember. But we've got a lot of stuff to unpack, so let's get everything out of their plastic and their cardboard and see what's in here. Okay, so here we go. Quite a bit of stuff in that box. Let's go over this one thing at a time. Let's start with the main unit there. Now this, there was quite a bit of weight to the box. Now the main unit here, I think it's got a significant motor in there because it's got a good amount of weight to it, even without the batteries in it. So it's, I'm not going to say that it's lightweight because it's not. But it has this very solid feel to it, and honestly, sometimes that's the only way you can really get the power, is to put a big motor in there, and I think it's in there. I think this is very promising. And again, it doesn't have any fuel, it's batteries. So here are the batteries over here. It achieves 40 volts by putting two 20 volt batteries in series, and it was very effective in the blower, if you remember. And the charger will accommodate both batteries at the same time, and that is really handy. So this is the trimmer attachment. Like I say, this is going to have several attachments eventually, but right now it's just the trimmer, and it's got the head on it already. And this is a big head. This is a big trimmer head, big commercial heavy duty trimmer head. Let's see if it's a tap and go. Don't know. I will let you know if that's a tap and go later on, once we get to the yard. Then here's the shroud. Nice thick plastic. And I want to point out, make sure you take the tape off that cutter. Otherwise it won't work. It also comes with a shoulder strap. Now, with it having some weight to it, I think that probably would be a good idea for a lot of people to save that and use that. I probably still won't. Now, here's the handle, and a good look at how it's going to attach. So you got the handle, this part on the top, and then this part on the bottom. We never did, on the last one of these that we reviewed, we never did figure out what this bar is, and it sticks out like that. And we don't know, it's just an extra place to grab, I guess. And the instruction book and a wrench. And who knows what else is in there. I think it's just an instruction book and a wrench. Anyway, let's put the two halves together and get a look at the, and put the handle on and the shroud and get a look at what this looks like all together. Okay, so there's the first look at it all assembled, and I just got to point out it was really easy to assemble. Like, for example, they put the bolts in there, and the nuts on the other side, they were already in there, so all you had to do is line them up and twist. And then these were already set for the shroud, and so they made assembly really, really, really easy, and I'm really happy about that. Oh yeah, the way the thing clicked in, it's got you basically push it in and click, and then the button here is actually metal. Where am I? There it is. And so awesome. So you push it in until it clicks, and then you tighten down that knob, and it's solid. So the only thing left to do now is to go use it. So let's go do that. Okay, so we're out here at an area where I like to test stuff like this. We have acres of grass here, and it's just starting to get thick. So we have some areas like right over there where it should be a pretty good test. But I wanted to show something on the machine itself before we get started. What you have here is 3 speeds. You know what? I'm going to switch to the other camera. Okay, so a couple of things I wanted to show. First is this safety switch here. You got to hold down the safety before you pull the trigger. Otherwise, you can't pull the trigger. So it's good that it has a safety. But now you hear it running, but I wanted to point out some things. Try to get this into the shade. Is that you have these speed settings. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, it's showing now. Okay, so that is speed 3, the fastest. Toggle it down to 2 and 1. And then the more you press it, it goes up and down, up and down. And we will start off at speed 1 so that you know what we're doing. And then these are the batteries. Battery B is fully charged. Battery A, fully charged. So, we will start off at speed 1, and then we will move to speed 2, so that you can hear what these sound like. Speed 1. Speed 2. And speed 3 should be ridiculous. Good. Okay, so back to speed 1, and let's do some testing in some of this grass here. Okay, so this is good news. Even on speed 1, it does really good. I think that for the most part, you can do everything on speed 1 because it has a good amount of power on speed 1. And for battery longevity, speed 1 would be the best. But let's go into a little bit of a thicker section. Let's go into that area with the weeds over there and go to speed 2 now. Actually, looking at these closer, these aren't weeds, these are saplings. And so this is going to be too thick. Although I can tell already it is very likely strong enough to run a brush cutting blade, but didn't come with one, and I don't quite have permission to show that. So we're not going to be doing that. We're just going to be switching to another area with a little bit thicker grass. We'll go over there, and we'll run it on speed 2. Okay, as expected, a little more power, a little faster, and very capable. It's trimming really nice. It has taken some pretty thick string. I will find out the thickness of the string and have it on the screen right about now, I imagine. But it seems to be at least 0.95, which is good, which means that I think I run 105 on my machines, and so the string that I have will go onto its spool. So this is great. So now we're moving on to speed 3, and we got to find something a little more difficult for it, so we've got to look around for a thicker area, and I'll find it. Okay, here we go. We've got some big clusters of grass here. This is nice and thick. You can run it on speed 3, wide open. Let's see what happens. Oh yeah, it's very, very capable on speed 3. Tremendous amount of power. Plenty of power to run a brush cutting blade or a saw blade or whatever you want to put on it. And I'm sure they did that on purpose. Like I was saying, the motor seems to be oversized and it does have some weight to it, but that's for a reason. That's because this one is going to be designed to run the attachments, the edger blade, the chainsaw blade, and the hedge trimmer blade. Now the chainsaw is going to require a lot of torque. So I'm certain that right now you could just take this head off and put the brush cutting blade on there and it would run it. It's got a tremendous amount of power. No problem whatsoever. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to try to put the GoPro right on it so that you can get a sense of what it's doing. So let's do that next on speed 3 again. Alright, so before I wrap this up, I want to do the battery check. Let's see what we got. Battery B, 3 bars. Battery A, 4 bars. Interesting. Well, now they're both reading. Okay. I don't know. So basically, it hardly used any power, even doing all that. But something else I wanted to mention is that even if it's on speed 3, which it's showing speed 3 there, you still have, I'll put the safety on, listen for it as I'm doing the trigger. It is variable. a little bit variable. So you don't necessarily have to have it wide open even when you're on speed 3, and that's great. That's really, really great. Anyway, okay, so let's wrap this up. In case you're wondering what that looks like, that's what it looks like with the GoPro on there. I kept knocking it down every time I went and did the tap and go. That brought up an important point. I did establish that it is a tap and go head, meaning you tap it on the ground and it advances the string and it hits that blade that I showed you earlier to the appropriate, cuts it to the appropriate length. So that's nice that you don't have to do that manually, but if you have a GoPro on there, it'll knock the camera downward and you have to keep adjusting it. But the machine itself is absolutely fantastic. I would call it overpowered, and overpowered is good because that means you have spare power. You don't have to run this thing wide open, but as you just saw, it's quite capable wide open. Anxious to try this out with some other attachments and the brush cutting blade, because now they'll be coming soon. They said that as soon as the other attachments are ready, they'll send them to me, and then we will demonstrate all those, the hedge trimmer, the edger, and the chainsaw. And so there will be more with this. Look forward to that. So I will put links to the Amazon link for this exact machine, minus the GoPro, and to their website so that you can see the other products that they have. They have more stuff coming, and but they have, you know, the blower and the trimmer. Now I can't remember what else, but it'll be on the website. So go to the links in the description and in the top pinned comment. But there will be more with this machine. So thanks for watching and stay tuned.